So I was down the park, as you know. I like just to go down the park and play on the swings and slides. No,
it's a exposure site because you've been down there a bit.
Yeah. It's a red zone after I've been down there. No, we're down there with the grandchild, and it was all legal and everything. Then we look across to the parks often have like a rotunda.
A bandstand, the old bandstand kind of thing. Yeah.
And I looked across, and there was a group of ladies, and they had some eskies, and they had cups in their hands, and they were sort of gathering around, and they had probably, 20 kids running around in a swarm around them,
Yeah.
And then the kids were, playing chasey. Then I would hear one kid go, "Cops!" And the cops had turned up because they were going to bust them for
illegal gathering.
Yeah,
illegal gathering.
Yeah. Well, it was sort of because you can come to the park and you can exercise, but I don't think you can gather and have an esky full of something and have a few drinks. I dare say there was something rather tempting in the paper cups for someone, and but it was funny because I was thinking, because normally cops turn up to parties at 2:00 in the morning, and people get arrested. But I was imagining trying to arrest a 4-year-old, put him up against the wall and frisk him, and.
Forget the 4-year-old. What about the bloody mums, the young mums?
I know, but they scattered really quick. The cops just walked in really slowly. They didn't do it. They weren't, intimidatory. They were just doing their job.
So did they speak to them at all? You reckon, or?
Oh yeah, they walked over there right in front of us. They walked over and said,
wow.
And there was a conversation. They said, and there was a lot of nodding going on, and the kids had gone by then. I don't know where the kids went, and the mothers sort of started to pack up really quickly as they were coming. So there's only a couple of mothers left by the time.
Oh the mums would run. Yeah. And
then we were driving home. Oh, by the way, this is we've recorded this during lockdown in Melbourne. So that's why this is extraordinary. We're driving home, and there was a coffee shop, and then they were serving drinks in cups from, I think it was a coffee shop, maybe they sold alcohol as well, and they were serving drinks that I think were meant to look like coffee, and people were taking them and going over the road, standing next to the beach, standing around in small groups, drinking. And you kind of go, that's not, is it? I mean, it's not. I mean, it's, I get it, and they're probably not, going, it's grey as far as what they're doing. But, I mean, they're drinking in a public place, and listen to me, Mr. Old Righteous me. But
I see on Friday night, I've seen them 2 weeks in a row now, Friday nights, some mums gather outside the milk bar, and they're drinking alcohol for sure.
Yeah.
In a group with their kids hanging around. They're all holding glasses. And it's like, I always yell out as I drive past, oi, 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 oi.
Well, I think it's extraordinary what these people were doing. I mean, because they must be going crazy at home with.
Well, who can blame them?
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of go, I get it. And the cops, I dare say, the cops are exactly the same. I mean, you're allowed to go to the park, and you're allowed to sort of have a chat in a small group. So they're not that bad, but it was a bit obvious because they had eskies and
an esky,
eskies and dips. It's a bit of a giveaway,
That's a giveaway. That's a giveaway.
Yeah. So, if you're out there, I understand why you're doing that, but,
we had the people had a birthday party in our back alley with a cake and stuff, and that's when I kept playing the police siren over my phone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because we had
my wife still won't talk to them. She's like, no, they've broken the law. So...
we went for a walk the other day, and there was some people having an 18th. So what they did it like a click and collect. So at the gate, they had a little table set up with alcohol, and then the 18-year-olds just stood around in the street having a drink, and there must have been about 10 of them. I don't know what the limits are at the moment. I think it's, what is it?
You can't have anyone to your house.
These were out on the street. So they were.
Oh, gee.
It's a fine line. It's a fine line.
Call the cops, mate. Go ahead, call the cops.
You
don't want to be the person who calls the cops, though.
You don't want to, because then if something was to happen, then it gets back to you, But you do feel like doing a drive-by, like you said, illegal. Call the cops.
That's always funny.
But surely if you're doing it, you've got to feel guilty. You've got to feel a little bit. And the people are looking at giving you, I mean, you get odd looks if you're not wearing a mask or something. So, anyway.
You got to try and do the right thing.
It's like being, back in World War II when we,
or East Germany.
Yeah,
people dobbing at each other,
turning your lights off at night so we didn't the bombers couldn't see us.
Yes, people have been making that comparison on Facebook.
Have they?
You guys are the guys with your lights on at night. You people not wearing pandemic, so we've all got to band together and try and fight it. Yeah,
and I went up the park to see a few people the other day, and they were into a really good discussion about the vaccine and all that sort of stuff, and it was a very heated sort of discussion, and you're going, wow, it's really happening out there. Anyway,
you can't convince anti-vaxxers. As I always say, it's like when we grew up. It's like Hare Krishnas. You know what I mean? They've been indoctrinated by misinformation on the internet. My brother always tells a story. He went up to a girl's house in the 80s, and she's like, don't go in the lounge room, my brother's there. And he's like, I always got on well with your brother. No, it's embarrassing, don't go in there. And he goes in there, and he's a full Hare Krishna sitting there. And he's like, oh, hi, Derek, how are you? Yeah, man, I've converted. I'm a Hare Krishna now. And do you want to talk about, sit down, and I reckon that's exactly the same with anti-vaxxers. They've been converted to a cult. And you can't, no point talking to them because they don't speak any sense.
And if you want to get online, you can find information, whatever information you want to find. If you want to find that riding around on a donkey will get rid of COVID, there'll be a group of people out there going, yes, it will. And you kind of so you find what you look for. And and if you want something to, condone your actions, there'll be other people out there doing the same thing. So, you choose to believe what you want to believe.
Exactly.
And, so anyway, as we always say, that we are.
Yes. As Arnold Schwarzenegger said, if your house is on fire, you don't watch YouTube, you call the fire brigade. All right?
Yeah.
And he makes a very good point. Anyway, we should stop going on about it. So,
we've got to be happier days. Let's get into it.
All right. Here's some music.
Here's the music.
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related. Now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Oh, yeah, welcome to the show. All the anti-vaxxers would have turned off by now, so that's probably good.
Well, no, but maybe they're open-minded. Maybe they
are. Maybe they are.
You've had your second one, haven't you?
Yeah, I had it the other day. I'm feeling good.
You're a fully vaxxed. You're in the 14% or something. What?
Oh, I did. And I've got to say, my mobile reception has picked up. It's incredible. As Chrissy Swan said to me on the radio, she goes, I paired with you when I walked in. I heard her. Oh, yeah, O'Neill's here.
Your face has got like a green glow to it. Looks good. Yeah.
It's looking good. I'm doing the podcast from an iron lung, but I'm fine.
Sometimes if I'm around an anti-vac, I'm really tempted to say I had the vac and I'm not feeling good. Oh, it just makes their day. It makes their day. They love it. They go, I told you, mate. I told you.
I told you.
Yeah, bad shit, mate. Bad shit's going to happen.
Oh, anyway, yeah. Just wait. Why don't they do a study group? And I always go, well, 5.5 billion people have had the vaccine. Not big enough for you. 5.5 billion. Not big enough for you. Don't you just wait, Glenn. Anyway, we should get the topics.
Sorry. Sam.
Should stop mocking people.
She doesn't. She's had enough of the talk, and she just wants to get on with what she does really best, which is finding topics that are somehow related. And I'm dare to say she's come up with something wonderful again today. So, Sam, what are the topics?
What is it?
Onions and Egyptian mummies.
Wow, I do love onions.
I can't eat onions. They're on my FODMAP.
Oh, that's right. When we went out, you pick around your little quiche, pulling out the onions.
That's right. I'd forgot. Well, I covered it up with my napkin.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Do you do that when you have it? You notice when someone's napkin is on their plate, you go, "Oh, there's the bit you didn't really want."
Are you finished? Yeah, I'm finished. Yep.
Finished. Hang on. What's hiding underneath there? Yeah.
Yep. Take it away.
I did that. I had lunch with Kitty Flanagan, name dropping, and they gave me scrambled eggs, and I said, "Can I have this?" And they said it's with bacon. I said, "Can I hold the bacon?" They said it's already in the scrambled eggs. I'm going, "What's going on there? How's that work?" Anyway, so had a lot of bacon, so I had to do it, and I felt a little bit nitpicky because there was a lot of bacon, and I'm sort of sectioning it off, Well,
are they getting it pre-made or something?
Well, it must be in a big jug, and they just pour it out with the bacon already in it.
Ugh. God.
So I'm not a big bacon guy. Anyway, so I had to sort of do the napkin trick. I don't know whether Kitty noticed. She might have. Anyway, she had a nice salad. Wish I'd gone the salad. Anyway, so
she's very healthy.
Onions. Didn't Tony Abbott? Am I right in saying? Did he
eat an onion?
Yeah. Did he know what he was doing?
Well, look, I remember the Italian guy across the road when I grew up. Luigi would eat onions, and we always used to go, "Wow," to Teresa, her daughter, but. He loved it, and that people you can eat a raw onion. I eat raw. I like raw onion, but he would eat it like an apple. The guy across the road.
Well, that's what Tony Abbott did. He just took a bite of it, and everyone was amazed. So
I think I've seen guys do it, and only one or two in my life. But the guy across the road used to do it, and he loved it, and he said, "Yeah, beautiful. Have one." We're like, "What?" It's not like a plum,
but it's not like you pick up a pumpkin or a turnip and snap it. Well, I guess you eat a carrot like that, don't you?
Yeah, and like George Bush was famous for picking up a bit of uneaten corn. Was it George Bush and eating the uneaten corn? But as someone pointed out, you can eat uneaten corn. It's fine to eat. It's not. People used to eat it uncooked.
Good roughage. You need that roughage. Yeah, and you wonder sometimes what you cook out of it. Did nature, nature invented fire and invented, food you could pick off trees. So they're going, maybe they'll work it out that you can cook up a vegetable and make it a bit softer to eat. But
you have raw onion in salads all the time. You get a salad with a bit of raw onion in it. Beautiful. Souvlakis have onions in them. Onions.
But they're not raw, are they?
Yeah, they're raw. Absolutely.
They don't they put them on the. Oh, they're raw because they just cut the lamb off the stick, don't they? And they hold the tray underneath it. That big bit of meat whirling around there, it doesn't look appealing to me. And it makes a noise.
But you know what? It's relatively healthy because all the fat's dripping off. So you're not frying it. You're basically roasting it on a spit. Okay. I mean, sure, they squirt a lot of stuff on it, but that's definitely raw onion.
The first meeting we had for this show.
Oh yeah, I took you to that souvlaki joint in
Oakley. Nearly killed me. Nearly killed me. I was exploding with lamb, and lamb gets me as well. God, this is boring. But lamb and onions are killer for me.
Oh, I love lamb and onions. I love onions. Onions and a sausage. Whoa.
So good for you. I mean, in that garlic sort of family, it's so good for you. I wish I could.
If you have bolognese, like what did I cook last night? Carbonara. You couldn't have that. You couldn't.
Well, I think Selena does it without onion, but no, the one that gets me is spring onion. That's a killer for me.
Oh, that's in a lot of Asian food.
So, but I'm better than I used to be because I'm having lemon juice every. Oh, this is really. I'm sorry about this. I'm really sorry. Sorry, doctor.
I want to see your Sunday Life magazine. What I eat in a day.
Yeah, what I eat in a day. It would be so perfect.
You pick the perfect day.
Absolutely.
Your most perfect day. Salad wrap. No bread. And then the woman would go, "Oh, top marks for a healthy diet, Glenn."
Yeah. Anyway, so when you cut onions, do you cry every time?
No, not anymore. I don't. I don't know if I've become immune to it, but I cut one last night. It didn't affect me that badly. What's really bad if you don't wash your hands and you touch your face?
Yeah, I did that with chili once. That was terrible. Yeah. Because I believe that if you put a matchstick in your mouth.
Oh, thank God you said mouth. Gee, I was wondering where it was going. Some weird thing.
If you put a matchstick in the cheeks of your ass,
and light
it, you will not. You'll feel pain, but you won't feel. You won't cry. Because once it gets in, and if you've had onion, so if you were going out, if you were having a on a date, would you have onions?
No, because I think that's onions and garlic. Mistake.
Because apparently if you throw parsley in there, it counteracts. Parsley walks into the room and takes out the onion breath.
Don't like parsley. No, never.
You don't like parsley?
No.
We have it in the garden. I just walk up and, it's one of the most nutritious things you can have. When I do my Sunday magazine thing, I'll be standing in the back garden having some parsley.
Fresh parsley from my garden.
Yep. Except you chew it for a while, and it's one of those foods that you can't quite get to sort of. It seems to absorb saliva or something, and it just becomes this ball in your mouth, and you have to sort of, it's hard to swallow.
You find it in your teeth a month later, a bit of parsley.
Absolutely.
That's what tabbouleh is. Tabbouleh's parsley. I never liked tabbouleh much.
Yeah.
Had some the other day. I'm just like...
So it's got a lot of parsley, hasn't it, tabbouleh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
And we were ordering some food, and Kieran's like, I want some... get some extra tabbouleh. And the woman actually said, you've already got 2 lots of tabbouleh. You don't need any more. I'm like, yeah, hear that? We don't need any more tabbouleh. Because you'll be the only one to eat the tabbouleh. No one else wants it. Tabbouleh. Some people love it.
So what are the ways that you can have onions on burgers? You can have it in
sausages. It's the basis for a lot of food and stews and bolognese, and that's why I can't believe you don't eat it. It's in a lot of things.
Well, it's often the first thing you fry up. You go, okay, first of all, chop and fry your onions. Yeah. And they do smell good, don't they? They smell great frying up.
Best.
And that's what. And now, am I right in saying that the Bunnings sausage, they do some onions there. They throw onions on top. Oh, it's I don't
know how you can go without it. Bloody love onions.
But just spend some time with me and you'll work out. Is it true that onions, if you fed too much onion to a dog, it can kill it?
Yeah, I've heard that. Of course, there's different types of onions. We have a lot of those red onions, but then there's the normal brownie onions. And there's also a salad onion too. And then, of course, you mentioned spring onion. There's also shallots.
What's the difference between a spring onion and a shallot?
Shallot's a bit bigger. It's like a tiny. It's in between an onion and a spring onion, kind of. Shallot. Shallot with a lot. Oh yeah, yum. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just talking about onions. I bloody love onions.
Yeah, well,
maybe I'll have some for lunch. I'll do a Tony Abbott and just bust out an onion and start eating around the house. He's had a breakdown.
What else do I know about onions? I don't know. Isn't it like a cleaning? Surely it's a cleaning product.
Yeah, surely you put it in the oven if you've had if you cut an onion in half to get the stink out of the fridge or the stove, that kind of stuff.
You cut it in half and rub it on an onion, and
don't rub it on your body though. It's not very.
No, but apparently if you mix it with aspirin, and rub it on your warts.
Oh really? Yeah. Well, onion. Yeah, it's the kind of thing that would have some sort of properties.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like kryptonite to warts. The warts come in and go, I can't handle this.
I personally love onions. I can't believe you're down on them. You're anti-onion.
Don't worry, I love them too. But as I've got older, I just I can't tolerate them. And, probably means I'm,
You're not like an anti-vaxxer, you're an anti-onioner. Oh, that's Glenn Robbins. Did you hear he's an anti-onion person?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, that's me.
Well, mummies are... we're talking Egyptian mummies?
I guess it's Egyptians. Mummies, it's embalming, isn't it? I mean, lots of cultures would have embalmed. Is there something special about a mummy? I just remember that it was like wrapping it in. I think they open them up, take all the organs out, then wrap them in bandages, don't they? And it's done for kings and queens and emperors and so they will have a life in the afterlife or something. They'll carry on.
That's right. It wasn't for the guys who cleaned up the donkey poo. They didn't get embalmed. They just got shoved in a ditch. No, definitely though. It was for the Tutankhamun and all those dudes, the kings and the pharaohs. And I don't know much about mummies. I loved mummies when I was a kid though. I love the horror. You'd see in comics and stuff, people dressed as mummies and mummies coming to life. So much so, we had a fancy dress day in the primary school, and I told the teacher I was going to come as a mummy. And my mum got these bandages to wrap me in. And then the headmaster got me in her office and said, please don't come as a mummy tomorrow. You're not allowed to. I'm like, why not?
She's like,
it's going to scare the kids or something. Like, what?
But with other people coming in, what were they doing? Were they doing scary things?
Well, I mean, this was a long time ago, so I assume that there would have been, some witches and cowboys and Indians. I mean, there was no Harry Potters back then, of course. Like the kids these days, a lot of Harry Potters and stuff, and the occasional Shrek.
It'd be so boring, wouldn't it be? There's so many Harry Potters. It'd be just be here. We get it. Oh, God.
If you've got glasses and a wand.
Get an idea. Get a new idea. I know.
So, yeah, they could. Imagine that conversation, though. The teacher must have dobbed on me to the headmaster and said, little David O'Neill's thinking of coming as a mummy. And so the headmaster got me in her office and said,
I got to say, no disrespect to you, but it would have been a lot of bandages that your mum had to.
I wasn't a fat kid. I wasn't.
I'm not suggesting. In
I was
terms
tall,
of that.
though.
I'm saying anyway, you'd still have to have a lot of bandages because
I reckon Mum would have scrimped at one point. She would have done the top half and just put white pants on or something, I reckon, don't you reckon?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, drawn bandages on your pajama pants or something, or
So is it the classic thing in that the mummies come out and they start to walk around all stiff-legged and all that sort of stuff? Yeah. Now that's not. What's the Living Dead? What's that show? That Walking
they're
Dead?
zombies.
They're zombies.
They're zombies. They're people that have been alive.
And the Invisible Man, he had bandages around him, didn't he? At some point, so you could see him.
So you could see him. Yeah.
So why bandages? Why don't you just wear a shirt?
Yeah, or a hockey mask or something. I don't know. It's just a good visual effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
I used to love mummies when I was a kid. It was my favourite monster. I wasn't interested in vampires or zombies or Dracula. I loved mummies.
But that's interesting, isn't it? Because onions were you used onions to defend yourself from vampires.
Vampires, yes.
So I wonder if there's anything in that. There's something just put on the whiteboard to think about what the answer might be. Yeah.
Mummies. Remember, there was a big thing of opening up the tomb. Was it Tutankhamun's tomb? That was a big deal.
TV show? Was it a TV show? A live TV show?
Yes. Was that the 80s? And they crossed to it.
It was a long time ago. Yeah.
And a bit of a letdown by memory. I think it was just like...
it was no big deal, I don't think. There was a lot of dust and a lot of,
And there was some British guy who spoke like this, and we're here at the opening of Tutankhamun's tomb. A life-changing event.
Is that what the pyramids were built for?
Yeah.
To house the mummies?
Yeah. Tombs.
The tombs. So they were mummified and they were put in that tomb. But did they not go in there and not find anything?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of secret passages and stuff, though. And they reckon there's still stuff in there they just haven't found in some of these pyramids.
Well, they've had plenty of time to find it. Surely, send someone in there. Surely they've got, lasers or X-rays or something. And, they could.
Well, have you been to pyramids? I've never been to. I'd love to go to Egypt. Never been.
Apparently, it's unsafe and really dirty.
Yeah, there's always plastic bags flying around in the photos.
Yeah. I mean, surely, if you're going to have people doing their community work, you get them clean up the plastic bags around the, and it looks dusty but it does look fantastic. How many is there? Do you know? Is there a lot of them?
3 of the big ones, isn't there? I think because it's all doing that because they're struggling with other issues in their country. I'd say they're like, there are pyramids over there. Gee, you guys look after that. We've got other stuff going on. Yeah. I've been to the Mexican ones. I've been to Teotihuacan, which is amazing when you go to these. They're like Inca or Aztec maybe pyramids. Incredible.
What do you do when you get there? Do you just stand there and take a photograph and
you climb up on them? You can climb up on them.
Oh, so you sit on them. You sit down and
Probably not the best for the pyramids to climb on them. I don't think the Egyptian ones you can climb on them anymore. You used to be able to climb on them and take a brick home. Like Stonehenge, you go hang out, and bloody have your barbecue there. But these days, I think you can't climb on the pyramids, or I don't even think you can go into them anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Not a great desire, but anyway. Is there anything else we can say about mummies? I mean, they cut the organs out. I think they cut the organs out except for the heart. They left the heart in there and they left everything else.
They were buried with their animals, weren't they? They were buried with their pets.
Yes, and they and they were embalmed as well, apparently.
But obviously the cats and dogs, some of them weren't dead and they had to be killed. Imagine being one of the... Gee, old Tutankhamun's not looking good, is he? Is he Soxy? No,
Piss
what
off.
do you think's...
Go, because they'll
What's going to happen to us? Do we go
to
you
as well? Yeah. Remember Tiddles? Yep. 2 weeks ago. Gone. Couldn't be found.
Do we go to a new owner or what happens to us? No, I think we go with him. What do you mean we go with him? Well, chop chop. Oh, God.
Yeah. And I think it was limestone or something. They limestone.
Oh,
No,
was it?
no. They're built out of limestone. I think maybe they had lime in there, but the pyramids are built out of limestone, aren't they?
Oh, wow. There's always the argument of whether they used slaves or they were paid, because they found a slave camp nearby, and they reckon maybe they weren't slaves; they were just paid to do it. But it's like,
And they still don't know how they got the rocks up there. Do
Oh,
they?
ropes and a UFO.
I think it would have been UFOs. Yeah,
UFOs,
built them.
mate. UFOs.
Yeah. And remember, there was a period where people would have little pyramids in their home, like a tent,
Yes.
and they'd sit underneath them and meditate because
Yes.
of the energy.
Or you put a carrot in there and go, it lasts longer if you put your carrot inside a pyramid. Yeah, that was in the 70s, I reckon. Late 70s, early 80s.
Interesting.
Funny. All right, we should have some thinking music then.
What's a mummy? Is there a mummy movie we could have a scene from?
Yeah, Brendan Fraser. They're good, schlocky movies, The Mummy.
Is there a classic scene that we could do from that?
I haven't seen it for a long
Is
time.
there a mummy song, or is there a mummy dance, or is there
A mummy. There would be.
Didn't Steve Martin do a thing called about Tutankhamun?
Yes, he did. You're right.
Yeah, what was that song?
I remember.
Oh,
I remember.
I think it was Tutankhamun.
Yeah,
I think
Tutankhamun.
and it was kind of like, I didn't quite get it because he just danced around on stage, being
right.
like and I'm going, oh yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't really get what you're aiming for here.
It is a classic dance move. You just have to move your arms and do the Egyptian. Remember
Yeah,
that, the
I know.
Egyptian?
Yeah,
So when we were in high school, my brother Mark, who was very naughty in high school, and he was one of the leaders of the gangs, right?
really.
When he was in like year 10, he would get all the year 10 boys and year 9 boys and go, line up, and we're just going to walk single file through the library just to freak This was his prank. This is like Jackass before Jackass. And so we'd all walk single file through the library, do a lap and walk back out. And then he'd yell Egyptian, and we'd all have to walk like Egyptians.
No, that's fantastic. I wanted to be in your world when you were that. You guys did cool stuff. Rebels
Stupid.
before your time.
Egyptian. Funny.
How about we do a couple of guys who are working on the pyramids, and they haven't finished them yet, and they're having lunch, and they're sitting on the
Okay. They've got a
sitting
pyramid each. They're doing their own pyramid. They're the project managers.
They're pyramid each, and they're just having so Sam, we need a bit of
Egyptian music.
Egyptian music going in. I don't know what that is. Tinkle, tinkle. And then when we're there, do we need sort of like sand blowing around, and maybe and maybe some noise in the background.
Working in the background.
Of trucks with
Workers.
stones on them. Yeah, workers and stones.
Yeah.
This will be good. Okay, let's
All right,
see.
yeah.
Let's go on a little journey right now.
Here we go. Hey, g'day, Larry. How are you?
Hey Barry, yeah, how you going?
How's your little project going over there?
What do you mean little?
Well, I mean, how many bricks are you? How many stones are you putting in that one?
About 58,000.
58,000.
What? Well, how many in yours?
There's 85. It's a big one.
Which is
Well-
yours? Which is yours?
Yeah, the big one. The big one next to the Sphinx. Did you do the Sphinx? Is that your work with the nose?
Look, I was working on the Sphinx, okay,
Yeah.
and they said, I was working on his face, and I just was finishing off the nose, and I went
Yeah.
one bang, two, and his nose fell off, and they sacked me because they reckon, So have you seen the nose is gone?
I know. So you're on the pyramid now. You're on the one. I'm doing the big pyramid. I suppose you're doing the medium-sized pyramid. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Man,
how
many chambers you got?
Oh, I've got 18.
Oh, okay, you've got 16. You go.
How many you got?
You got 16. Okay, no worries. But it doesn't mean mine. Mine's more of a boutique one. Mine's more of a. You know what mine is? Mine's if you've got your pyramid, it's a weekender.
Ah, how many bathrooms?
4.
No, I got 8. Well, you got to. They believe you got to go to the toilet in the afterlife. So I got the 8 bathrooms.
How's your secret passage going?
Yeah, I've got 4 or 5 of them. Yeah, I've got a trapdoor. And
See that bug over there?
yeah,
Just above us, sitting up about right at the top there.
Yeah.
It's Keith.
Keith.
He's the boss of the secret passages.
Oh, is that his job?
Yeah, don't ask him because he gets upset if you ask him about the secret passages.
Hey, Keith, tell us about the secret passages.
Barry, sorry, he's picking up a rock.
Oh, come on.
Don't, Barry.
Keith. Hey.
Keith.
Oh.
Keith, sorry. Keith.
Is he a slave? Tell him to behave. Oh.
That nearly got me.
Ow.
Oh.
Thank God my lift's here. My UFO's turned up. Thanks, guys. Take me away.
Anyway, good to see you, Barry. All the best with yours, and I'll come to your grand opening. And
well, I won't be alive because it takes 100 years to build these things. I won't probably be alive, but my son will take over, as your son will. Yeah.
I haven't seen my cat. Have you seen my cat? He's gone missing.
Yeah, well, not good news there. Cats are in their special tomb. Oh, wow. Straight there.
Wow, what a vibe. I guess they would have had somewhere where they sat down and had a bit of lunch and had a bit of a chat.
Yeah.
And, you know, how's your back? Bit sore from lifting all the rocks. Ooh. And I wonder if, you know what would be good? It's a bit like when you climb Mount Everest, you get to stand on the pointy bit. I wonder, the day that you actually get to put the final rock on the pyramid and just go, bang, there it is, I did it. I put the pointy bit on a pyramid. I reckon you'd scratch your name somewhere, surely.
Yeah.
You'd just go, you know.
Surely.
Yeah. Dave O'Neill was here, you know.
Slave number 56 was
Slave
here.
number 56. Okay, so time for a go.
All right, so onions and mummies. I believe they got the idea for wrapping mummies from looking at an onion. Yeah. Incredible answer.
That's really good. That's fantastic, actually. I reckon you might have it.
Sure.
I reckon that the mummies represented something positive, like the rings or something, or afterlife ring, because they were big into the afterlife. That's why they were mummified. And I reckon that they replaced the body part with an onion.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Yeah. So
two little onions and a sausage. Cocktail Frankfurt. Okay, Sam, what's the answer?
Okay.
The Egyptian onion, also called tree onion or walking onion, is a rare and ancient vegetable, mainly grown in Liguria. The ancient Egyptians loved onions and believed that their round shape and concentric rings symbolized eternal life. They were even used during burials of pharaohs. Egyptians used onions in religious rituals and in preparing the remains of the dead. Mummies have been found with small onions placed in their eyes, ears, and next to their bodies.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. So we were sort of right because they were, you know,
also
representative of the rings and the afterlife, all that sort of stuff. So, I was partly right.
Will take away the stench too, I'd assume. A little bit of stench gone.
Yeah.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
So if you opened up a tomb and you found some old onions, you wouldn't eat them, would you? They'd be probably off. No, you wouldn't. Yeah,
they go rotten.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, rotten onions not good. I've had one. I've had one in the cupboard. Not good. Ugh.
Well, you can see them going off, and you can also see them going off when you cut them open.
Yeah.
Hey, here's something interesting.
Mm.
Did you know that that New York City used to be called the Big Onion?
Yeah.
You've heard that before?
No, the Big, the Big Apple.
It was the Big Onion, and then it became the Big Apple because for the same reasoning. It was because they believed there was that New York was so multifaceted, so many rings to it. An onion represented, you know, what New York was all about.
Yeah,
as opposed to an apple, which is kind of like just cut it in half and eat it. Yeah, just pretty boring. But anyway, there's a fact. There's a fact you can take to your next dinner party. Next time you're having onions, next time someone has listened to this show, imagine all the interesting things you're going to have to say about my diet, about my inability to digest them, what I do
People
about
in Brighton breaking the laws, drinking. Alcohol in the park. What would you like to be mummified when you pass away? Do you want to be mummified? Do you want me to organise that or?
No, I'd like to be. I think we talked about it on the show before. I'd like to be waterfied, where they turn you into water.
Right, in the water.
Well, would you like to be mummified? Would you like
No, but I know that seriously. When one of our cats died, Kieran, my partner, was talking about getting it stuffed, and I said, but then I interviewed Scott Cam from the block.
Yeah,
he's 2 Kelpie dogs that died. He's got them stuffed, and they sit on the stairwell in his house. As you walk up the stairs to the bedrooms, you've got one halfway, then one up the top.
They're inside. I mean, and I just get the feeling that they eventually. That's weird. That's very weird. We used
as
to
he
have
said, he bought a new puppy, and the puppy looks at him every day, going, "What did they do wrong? Why are they there?"
Well, we had something similar like that. My brother used to work at the Hilton Hotel, and they closed down one of the restaurants there, and he brought home a pheasant, a stuffed pheasant. And we used to have it on the mantelpiece at home, and we had a fox terrier, and we used to get the pheasant down, and we'd go, and the dog would just go crazy barking at the pheasant because it was real, And go, anyway, we went out one day, and somehow the fox terrier got up onto the mantelpiece, got the pheasant, and ripped the shit out of it.
Wow.
It was just feather and stuffing all over the house. And we're looking at the dog going, and just going, well, you know what? It had it coming.
Enough.
It had it coming. Yeah. It's been taunting me for years, and it was very funny. So if you've got a stuffed pheasant, don't go taunting your dog with it. And Scott can't, if you're listening, your new dog is going to at some point take the opportunity to go, there's only room for one of us, and it's going to take, they're going to take both the dogs out. It's a lot of stuffing. That's a lot of stuffing that he's...
Kelpies,
That's a lot of stuffing.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? God.
Yeah. Should have made it a challenge on the block.
The block. That's funny. I'm sure when he dies, his wife will get him stuff and put him on the stairwell, and the second husband will turn up and go, "Whoa, Scotty looking down at us."